Hey, what's up guys, this is Mac. Welcome to NCR India free video tutorial channel on YouTube, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make your first class in C++. And I'm very sorry that I'm going so fast, I'm speaking so fast, and if any of you guys couldn't hear me properly, or if any of you guys have any problem with the conceptual part of the videos, then please do comment after my video so that I could come to know, because I'm the only single person working here. I have no other person to edit my videos or to check if I made some mistake, not the conceptual mistake, because conceptual mistake will never be there, I can assure you this thing. Okay, so let's move and make our class. So how to make a class? First of all, you need to keep one thing in mind. If you're gonna make a class in C++, that has to be defined before your main method, because the main method cannot include the definition of the class or the definition of the methods or something like that. Okay, so remember that the definition of the class has to be outside of the main function or before the main function, like this. So I'm going to make a class. For making a class, you will have to write the class keyword and then write the class name. Let's say it is car. Open the block of the class car by using these curly braces, right? Inside this block I'm going to define my class. The class is basically used to bind the the data values with the member functions, and those member functions has to be implemented on this data to manipulate it, right? Okay, so first of all, what could be the data? Data could be anything which is related to car. Let's say it's a car number, character, car number, array of 20 digits, 20 spaces, right? It means that we have actually declared a character called cn of space of size 20, which can accept 20 characters inside it. Okay, now after this, let's declare another variable called high speed, integer type. Now it is an integer type variable. Okay, high speed hg, and remember one thing, that array is a collection of same type of data. If you have declared an array of character type, then this array will only accept all the values, all the character values. There will be no integer values at all. Okay guys, now also remember one thing, that every character has to be enclosed between the single quotes, and inside this single quotes, whatever you write, it will only be taken as the character. Okay, and whatever the value we're going to supply as a car number to this array, that will be taken, the every digit will be taken as a character enclosed by these single quotes from the compiler. Okay, that will not be shown to us, but yes, it will have to be taken as like this. So whatever the number you are going to provide as a car number, whatever the alphabet you are going to provide as a car number, it will only be taken as the characters. Number can be a character, okay, but a character cannot be an integer. Always remember this thing. Now number can be used as a character, but a character cannot be used as an integer unless you are supplying that character value to an integer type variable. I will talk about this in detail later, but for the time being, remember this thing. Okay, now remember the one more thing, that you cannot initialize any of the variables inside your class, any of the data variables inside your class. That's the rule. Okay, now we have to define our member functions. For defining the member functions, what you need to do is that first of all, you should know about the access specifier. What is the access specifier? We'll use an access specifier before declaring our member functions. What is an access specifier? Access specifier actually makes the member functions visible. It affects the visibility of the member functions to the other parts of the code, right? Or if you are using the access specifier before any class, in the case of when you will be having multiple classes in a single program, then we may use the access specifier for the different classes. In that case, the same thing will happen to those classes, that the access specifier makes the classes available. It affects the availability of the class to the other parts of the code, right? How does it affect? I'll tell you now. There are three kinds of access specifier. First is called private, another one is public, and the last one is protected. What does public do for us? Private do for us, Private actually makes the content private, which is not accessible to any other part of the code, to any part of the code, right? And public makes the makes the content available to the other parts of the code. Protected makes the content available to the other parts of the code, but only those parts which can actually satisfy some conditions, right? Let's take an example of like I need to buy a BMW. Then I should have such amount of money to buy a BMW. And if unless I'm having the such amount of money, I can buy the BMW. So that's a condition that I have to pay the money, right? If I'm not having money, then that product, the BMW, is not accessible by me. It's not available to me. That's the thing, right? Now let's write the specifier. Now we're using the specifier public to make our member functions publicly available for everyone. Public. Uh, First of all, you have to write, before declaring your main function, you have to write the return type of the main function, void. Now void means nothing, empty, right? It means that the our member function is not going to return any value. That's it. Now declare your member function, which has to, yeah, receive the values from the user. So let's name it as take data. It will receive the data from the user, and the argument will be having value void. It means we are not supplying anything in the argument part of the member function. Okay, now write void display, what again. Now let me tell you guys, till now we have actually declared the member function inside the class, and remember that after the class block you will have to terminate it with a semicolon, right? Okay, now there are two ways to define these member function take data and display data. You may define, you may define this these member function inside the class. You may even define these member function outside the class. Now I'll show you both the ways. Yeah, I'll define the member functions both the ways. So first is, let's define take data inside the class. Remove this semicolon and open its block. Remember that if you are defining inside the class, you don't need to put any semicolon after the member function block. Okay, now inside this member function, let's execute our statements. See out, this is the insertion operator. It will insert the string I'm gonna write on the right hand side of this insertion operator now. That is, enter the name, I'm sorry, it's not name, it is car number, right? Car number and its high speed. So we have prompted the user that please enter the name, enter the car number and its high speed, and now semicolon to terminate this statement. Okay, after this, user will have to supply the data, which will be contained in the cin object, and it will be extracted by the use of using exertion operator. Okay, and it will be supplied to the variables. The first is the car number. We'll only use the cn as a variable. Okay, and semicolon, and the next value will be assigned to the as the high speed to the hg and semicolon. So user will first enter the del, the whole code number, the car number, and after when he will press enter to enter the high speed, before entering the high speed he has to press the enter after entering the car number, and after when he will press the enter, the value will be supplied to the variable called cn, to the array cn. Okay, and it has a maximum size of 20 spaces. The number could be up to the 20 spaces long, or it could be the shorter, but it cannot overflow the size. That means it cannot goes beyond the size. It cannot have the 21 as 21 dates as character. Okay, 21 spaces or dates, anything could be there. Now remember that we have also used one concept called cascading. I didn't tell you about that in our previous program, but okay, I'm just introducing that in this tutorial. Even I have described that in the description that I have used the cascading of the operator. Right now, this is called the cascading of input operator or insertion operator. This is the insertion operator. You can see what do you mean by cascading? Cascading basically is a word when is used to explain that we are using the two statements in a single line. We are executing the two different statements in a single line. Now you can see that we are accepting these two variables in these two by using these two different statements, but we can also do this in a single statement like this. The cascaded. Cascade means joining them in a way like that. Okay, now it will first now the scene is a single object will be having both the values of the accepted by the user. The first will be having the value of car number, and when the user will press enter, the value of the car number will supply to the car number array, and then the user will enter the high speed of the car, and then it will supply to the HG sequentially, right? So that's all about this take data function. I would like to continue this program in our later tutorial or in our next tutorial, because we cannot make the videos more longer than 15 minutes, and it will be rejected by the YouTube servers. So okay, let's finish it up here, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. So don't forget to watch, and please don't forget to comment on my videos, because so that I could get to know if I'm doing my work in a correct way or not, if you guys can understand or not. Okay, thank you, bye bye, take care, have fun guys.